Hello everyone and welcome back for another video. In this video I'm going to talk to you about how to deal with feeling alone during your recovery and take you through some strategies that you can use to improve your interactions with others so that you can draw more support during your recovery from the people around you. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Rachel and I'm an emotional health coach, and I used emotional healing techniques and medical medium in my recovery from hypothyroid, chronic fatigue, IBS and fibromyalgia. One of the things I felt so profoundly during my health recovery was loneliness and feeling unsupported. And I would say that this is probably one of the most common emotional experiences that we have when we're chronically ill. It's something I work with clients through a lot, is that feeling of isolation. And our symptoms make us feel different too. No one else is experiencing the pain, the fear and discomfort that we're experiencing. So it's easy to really feel very much alone. So where do these feelings come from, and what can we do to make the most of the support and the company of other people that's available to us? So my experience over the course of my life is that I learned to be really independent and not to rely on anyone else for anything. And this is something that I learned at a very young age. And so I went through my adult life feeling really that I was alone and that nobody cared about me. And what's interesting is, if I look back over the years, that feeling of being alone and unsupported was actually there way ahead of the experience I had of the illness. I'd been separating myself from people pretty much most of my life. I always felt like the odd one out. And I realized that I'd actually been pushing people away most of my life. And when we push people away, they tend to stay away. So it becomes this like self-perpetuating cycle. And if you're feeling lonely and unsupported in your recovery, I would suspect that that feeling has been there prior to the illness, and it's worth investigating that if it's the case. Because the clients I've worked with tend to have a very common experience. They're either the only child or they never really felt like they belonged in their family. And so we can tend to perpetuate that feeling, and these feelings can become really amplified during an experience of illness. And so when I coach, those are the feelings that we target so that people can heal the past and actually start to see opportunities to take support from others and to stop pushing other people away. And so that makes it easier for them to take the good from those interactions with others and leave the bad behind. So put your hand up if you've ever turned down the opportunity to be around others since you've been experiencing ill health. I am so guilty of this. And I used to turn down everything, and it wasn't because I didn't want to go, but I was really afraid that my health issues would disappoint somebody, that maybe I couldn't keep up, maybe I wasn't meeting their expectations. And I'd also be anticipating the ridiculous things that they would say. The people in our lives are no angels. They find this situation incredibly awkward, a lot of them. So they do say stupid things, and I used to really take it to heart. But on the rare occasion that I did say yes, and it was usually under duress, I came away from those interactions feeling a lot of happiness and taking a lot from them. And I know when you're fatigued and when you're in pain, it can be incredibly draining to be around other people. And one of the problems I had is I just did not set any boundaries. I forgot that I was in charge of that, and that I could make interactions a little bit shorter so I could preserve my energy and get the good things from those interactions. So one of the things you can do if you're caught in thinking about what could go wrong if you go to a social event or you have guests at your house is to use what ifs tapping. I've put a video on this channel. It's called Fear of the Future. I'll put the link in the description. Go and check it out. It'll help you work through all of those thoughts that go through your mind. The what ifs. What if I don't feel good? What if I'm in pain? What if somebody says something? And you can work through those until you get to a point where you feel calm, and that clears the space so that you can actually experience the interaction in real time rather than living in the future, creating an interaction that may or may not happen. And this was a very powerful tool for me because it enabled me to widen my horizons so that I could be around people even while my body wasn't feeling so good. Loneliness can also come from not being there for ourselves. If we don't love ourselves, if we don't like ourselves, if we don't treat ourselves with kindness and compassion, how can we expect to take that in from other people? We are literally leaving ourselves out and not giving ourselves the kindness and nurturing and compassion that we deserve. Learning kindness and compassion for ourselves is so important in enabling us to feel supported. And one way you can do this is by learning to talk to your body with kindness and compassion. And I've made a free EFT meditation. I've put the link in the description. You can download this, and it's going to teach you how to start to have a kind and compassionate dialogue with your body. Kindness and compassion is one of the key pieces in the healing puzzle, and it's one of the things I think that's so missing because we're so hard on ourselves. One of the strongest emotions I used to feel around being unsupported and feeling alone was anger and frustration, and it was pointed at the people I felt unsupported by. And I'd really tune into the crappy things that they said, the unkind things, the thoughtless things, and I used to go over and over in my mind, and I'd get really angry about it, and I could stay in this angry state for days after seeing one of them. That's how angry I used to get, and it did not feel good, and it was very stressful on my body, and I was really angry with the people that I loved and that loved me, and these were the very people I needed support and company from. And something I found incredibly helpful and that I teach people to do is to find the source of that anger and release it, so that they not only forgive that person but they also come to a place of peace, because peace is much better for our bodies energetically. By releasing the anger and opening up to forgiveness, I was able to start having these people in my life again. And it was a way that was not only kinder and more understanding of them, but also gave me what I needed. So let me know if this video has given you any aha moments, or perhaps pointed you in the direction of some things that you could tackle so that you feel less alone and more supported by the people around you. So our health is a manifestation of our physical and emotional parts of ourselves. If you want to know how to deal with some of the crazy things that people say during our recovery, check out this video, and I hope that you found this video useful, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.